What's up? What's up, guys? The group collective is starting to get a little sassy. I love cruising the channels. I mean, it's like you guys are getting... Yeah, I love you guys, you know? I mean, pay no attention to the voices in the background. My dad's blabbing away. He's half deaf, so you can probably hear him. Maybe you can, I don't know. What's the overall energy? Oh, shit. Excuse me. Well, we got Five of Pentacles rolling. Rolling. Five of Pentacles rolling. Right. Ooh, we're Chariot energy. Five of Pentacles, Chariot energy. So, I saw some predictions. We're going to do predictions today. Saw some predictions from a couple of remote viewers. Maybe we'll do a little short meditation and see what comes through, right? Hangman. We're in our hangman energy, and we're in an enlightenment. I feel like you guys are in your enlightened position, right? You know something's coming. It's like barreling forward in Five of Pentacles energy. But you're always being led by a higher power, right? I love this card. From the outside, it may look like, oh, broken down. But actually, you know, higher power is guiding you. Right? The hangman knows something that most people don't. Everybody's transforming, right? You're always dying to old versions of yourself. And coming out in a new way, right? Something that's coming through here lately quite a bit, especially people that are in creation mode, because creators have to deal with this all the time, right? You'll have family members, friends, family who will start to not understand you because you're elevating your awareness. It becomes more and more obvious of what other people are afraid of when you start bleeding off of the fears and your faith starts to increase, right? Like, what is it that I can do? Is there anything that I can't do? Maybe there isn't anything that I can't do, right? Maybe, right? Just love the world, and the world will love you. There's no reason to think that somebody's not gonna love you, right? And if they don't, they just think they don't. They actually do. That's the thing, right? That's the secret. They really do love you. They're just unhappy that they're unhappy. And so they gotta say, I want you to be unhappy too. Right? Right? Queen of Cups. Her emotional sensitivity is unmatched. Where are you guys? I mean, this is just entertainment for me. I don't know what it is for you guys. You guys are running away with the... There maybe is somebody thinking that they're getting away with something, right? This feels like something in your outside energy. Maybe there's people that think they're getting away with something. I mean, look at this guy. Although he looks brighter, right? He looks a little brighter than maybe all these other people are stuck in bondage, right? And you're carrying a bunch of swords, mental willpower, and walking away from conflict, or people stuck in tents. Maybe that's it. You're taking your swords and walking away from your 5 swords and walk away from the 2 swords. I never thought about it like that, right? 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords is conflict, but 7 of Swords is, it's like you got 5, so you're carrying 5 swords and you're walking away from the 2 where taking yourself away from established structures. What are we doing with those 5 of Swords? More on the 5 of Swords. On 7 of Swords, I should say. But we gotta follow. We're taking 5 swords, leaving the other 2 for the schmucks, right? They're stuck in tents, talking to each other about what we're doing, and we don't care. We're just taking our stuff and going, right? What do we got? 10 of Cups. Our emotional fulfillment. Love what we're doing and love the fact that we're not stuck in the tent. The last thing I would want to be doing is working for a big software company right now, right? Like NVIDIA or Intel or like Microsoft. Sorry if any of you guys are working for those outfits. I'm sure that you're trying to cope as well as you can, right? But as soon as you stop getting a paycheck from somebody else and you have to do things for yourself and start being more creative, I guarantee you that it will challenge you in ways that you never thought you would be challenged. Everybody has unlimited creative potential. You just have to believe, right? Become the Fool. Most powerful card in the tarot deck. All things come from the Fool, and everything goes back to the Fool. Right. The ultimate card of transformation. The Death card always is talking about the Fool. I love this card. I wrote a whole poem around the Fool. My last channel, if you guys have been following me for longer than, I don't know, a year, my old channel was called I Am the Fool. I wrote a little snippet, I Am the Fool. So since the Fool card came up, we're going to talk about the Fool for a little bit. Look at the Fool card. The Fool card looks like an idiot. Right? He does. Just a simpleton with a little bag on his shoulder. But he has a white rose in his left hand, which is symbolic of the purity of his heart. He loves the world and believes in miracles, and is always taking leaps of faith. But if you notice, his cloaks are covered in growth, like growing things, and they're tattered, right? Symbolic of trials and tribulations that are purifying his heart. And the sun, or the source of all of his energy, is always shining down behind him. He's always in the light. Look at it. 0, where everything comes from and goes back to. He's always got a little doggy sitting next to him, you know. Yeah, I love this card. And he's coming down from the mountains. See? He's coming out of the mountains. He's coming from a high place. Always leaping from a high place, from a very high vantage point. Does he ever fall? There's a Fool card out there, I can't remember which tarot deck it is, where he's hanging off the cliff. He's got one hand, and he's just hanging on by one hand. He's like, oh! Right? You're always taking the leap, but you never actually fall. That's the secret of the Fool card. If you can stay in the Fool energy, then you got her licked. That's the Son of God card, right? I'm speaking to the sons and daughters of God. Call yourself whatever you like. I don't know. It's just, you're just a manifestation of Source. That's what everything is. What else could it be? Strength. So I have tremendous strength with the Fool card. And this is your protection. This card describes your strength and your protection at the same time, right? The Fool card means that you're always traveling, but you're always staying in the same place. And what protects you is that white rose in his left hand. Purity of your heart, right? The purity of your heart will always protect you and keep you out of conflict. It's the only thing that really matters, right? And so you can have all the haters in the world, and you'll have haters. There's no doubt about it. If you travel this path, you're going to have haters, whether you like it or not. But as long as you learn to like it and love everyone and understand that even the haters actually are loving you in their own way, it's the way that they love themselves, they just can't help it. It is what it is. They'll love you anyway. Let's get one more card. About on the Fool and the Strength card. I think we've probably learned everything we need to know. We're in shared energy, very emotionally sensitive, taking leaps of faith with a lot of strength, 10 of Cups, beautiful energy, and just an outpouring of love for your environment. I don't think I need to say anything else. Keep creating. As long as you keep creating that state of being, then life is a miracle. Life is a living miracle, right? Exciting. It's always exciting when you don't know it's around the next corner, right? Who knows what could happen? Somebody could show up on your door and say, hey, it could be Ed McMahon. Oh, no, Ed McMahon's dead, I think, right? What's the sweepstakes? What was that? What is it? Publishers Clearinghouse. Yeah, Publishers Clearinghouse. You won $1 million. I think that turned into a scam, wasn't it? Tell me in the comments if you guys ever followed that, because I think, every once a year or whatever, Ed McMahon would take a picture with somebody holding $1 million check from Publishers Clearinghouse. I don't even know if Publishers Clearinghouse is still around, right? I mean, our society has changed so much in the last 10 years. Hell, in the last 5 years. Wait for another couple months. Oh, yeah, predictions. Before we go too far, before I do this card, predictions. Predictions from this channel. So look at the bigger picture. There's more and more people that are just unhappy with going back to work, right? If you're not in your creative energy, you're going to be unhappy. I deal with this with friends and family. We talk about it. You got to get into some kind of creative pursuit. Do something for yourself creatively. Lift yourself up. And if you're worried about, being supported or whatever, just make sure that you're holding that state of being and loving everybody around you. And you'll actually slowly pull out of everybody's negative karma, because they'll start to understand, okay, why was I being the way I was being, right? Why can't I present myself to the public in the right way? Why can't I present myself to you and lift you up and make you feel good, right? So, just a lot of that, right? So growing out of that, the old system, it just kind of feeds off you in a lot of different ways, right? It's just, all it is just based on profits. So you go work for some place that's based on profits for something that you're building, and that thing really may or may not serve the public, and it probably doesn't serve the public once you really understand, because all of it is pulling you out of your creative energy, which is a self-healing energy, and then allows you to heal the people around you, right? How often does that happen? Not very often. So that's the bigger picture of what's going on. So all the old systems are slowly collapsing, and there's more and more people learning to elevate into a higher state of being. So you see a lot of different psychic channels on YouTube that are delivering specific emotionally sensitive readings to specific groups of the population. People are in different places at different times. A lot of people are in their dark side energy right now, where they're just like, F you. It's like, because, if you got haters, it's like, hate me, what do you want? But then there's people in different contexts of it. And most of the readers have already come to a place where, you're loving, but sometimes you might be reading second and third party readings. Just different kind of readings, right? And then some of them are more about what the group collective is doing. So that's what's happening on the psychic side. It's all psychic. So everything is internal. And so the structures that you see out there are all internal states where people are giving their power away to other people to let them rule them, right? That's what everything, I have a lot of empathy for people like, what's his name? Jordan, the psychologist guy. I don't know why his name escapes me right now. But, they talk about politics. Do we really need to talk about politics? They're going to try and continue to sell some kind of story to maintain power structure so they can have a job, because a lot of them have lived off of other people for so long, they don't know how to do anything for themselves. There it is, right? If you don't know how to do anything for yourself, then you're going to be living off other people. Right? You're not going to naturally attract. You're not going to have faith in your ability to naturally attract what you need, which falls you into depressive states, and you'll go through cycles where you bleed off that negative energy. But you can manifest whatever. You just have to have faith, and the faith will create the motivation and the locomotion for what you're doing, right? Energetically. And then it doesn't matter. It makes much less difference about what you're eating or not eating, although it does make a difference because you won't be as hungry. I'm just blabbing now. Anyway, forecast. Forecast 2025. I don't know, for whatever reason, a big volcano is gonna explode. I just saw a video, and it wasn't referencing. This was on land. Somebody was talking about the underwater volcano that's off the coast of Washington, Oregon. But this was an on-land volcano, eastern side of the world, Russia area. Second quarter of this year, maybe. So that's one prediction. Market collapse, end of first quarter. Market collapse where we've got a significant portion of the market starts losing because it's not getting things to market, right? It has less to do with not, there's both sides. There's not being able to get things to market, and then the consumerism is falling. People are looking for less external validation. So if they're not buying products to make them feel better, they're not buying products. So the market is trying to figure out what people want. What are people looking for? People looking for things to make them feel better, to figure out what they actually need. Less and less external validation. It's like a turning point. End of first quarter 2025. So it's going to be harder and harder for people to sell services. You're going to have to be forced to start working. There's going to come a point where people are going to have to start learning how to work together again and redevelop their skill sets. Even the spiritual community, has been for so long, people have been selling individual healing skills, but they're going to have to learn how to work together. Not going to have any choice, because that's what we're made to do, right? The system's made to isolate you and separate you so you can be controlled. If you're separated, you're controllable, right? If all of us are selling services to one another, we're controllable. If we're working together to build communities together, you're not controllable. You can't be controlled. Now, some might say, well, as an individual, they can't control me. Well, yes, they can. You have to use their system. That's the thing. If you're using their system, you're inside of their control structure in some way. I don't care who you are. You can batter me up and down. You can hate me if you want me. But if you say you're outside of the matrix and you're using cash to buy things, you're in the matrix, whether you like it or not. Right? You're outside of the matrix, and this is true. You are outside of the matrix if you're making zero money and you're still living the life of your dreams and you're manifesting daily what you need. That's a challenging thing. I'm here to tell you, because it challenges your faith in ways that you have no idea. Right? All you have to do is keep providing healing energy for your environment. And if you don't, and if you stop loving it in any way, then it will stop loving you, right? That's just the way it is. There's no reason why we can't support our environments. Now, love is the ultimate currency. That is the only real currency, right? Is your ability to provide for your environment. And just more of anything, it's just a state of being. So there is a way to connect and do this and then drive the rest of the planet into karmic states. You'll just burn off their karma a lot faster. That's actually what we're seeing in the group collective. Is just an escalation of karmic burn down. It's dharmic burn down first, happens internally first, and then it manifests karmically. So you'll see conflicts flash out because people grow into fear, states of fear, so the anxiety where they have to see, how can I grab these resources over here? If I don't get these resources, I'm going to die, right? That's the theory in the brain, the dharma. And so it manifests karmically. It's like, okay, that person or thing is doing something that I have to control it, right? I have to control this thing or I'm going to die, right? So a large percentage of the group collective is going through that right now, right? That's not what they're actively thinking of it as, but if you break down the thought patterns of what's going on internally, that's what's happening, right? They don't believe that they're going to be supported. Right. So that's happening. So that's going to lead to an artificial peace-bringing mechanism to after the first quarter, maybe by middle of the year, right? Could be by summer or fall, like maybe in September. We have an artificial peace-making mechanism to try and take control, right? Powers that be are going to want to maintain control, especially if they see a large portion of the population who's able to escalate karmic imbalances. What else is there? Ocean currents are slowing. So some weird weather dynamics in the fall. Maybe a drying out in Europe. Seems like, maybe like a drying out in Europe where there's not as much moisture. Something that they're not used to. Huh. Let's leave it at that. I mean, it really doesn't matter what does or doesn't happen, right? All you can do is focus on what you need to do now. We are seeing an escalation of the energies moving through here, so it's forcing people how to ground out negative opinions of one another and figure out that it's all just a learning, growing experience, right? Awaken. Awaken the way you see the world. Love you guys. Have a beautiful day. I hope you guys are working on your projects, whatever you're doing, make yourself happy, feel good. And you're not over trying to make anybody else happy. You know, the only person that has to be happy with you is you, right? So, independent of the opinions of others. That is 100% true. Love you guys. Have a beautiful day. See you later.